I hope you are having a wonderful start of the week. Today on the menu we have Scrivener, and what I want to share with you is Scrivener's outline mode. Now I want to do this because I find Scrivener's outline mode super useful, but it is not very intuitive. It's very different from any outlining software that you'll use. And I think that because of that, you really need to understand its logic to use it in the best way possible. Okay, so let's quickly go through what Scrivener outlining mode is. So Scrivener has three modes. You can see them here in the top of my screen. You can also go here in the view menu, and you have the three views, which are document, corkboard, and outline. Okay, so document mode is what we have here, right? So you see the document. Corkboard mode is I showed you this in my first video on Scrivener. So let me just open here the Twitch screen to see if anybody is talking. So I showed this on Scrivener. So in this mode, you basically have a bunch of cards that you can write. Here I want to hook the reader, right? Okay, so bunch of cards. Each card is an individual Scrivener draft document. Okay, and then we have outline mode, okay, which is what we are going to discuss today. Okay, so outline mode. So here's the outline for a revise and resubmit that I'm working on. Okay, and for me the outline mode in Scrivener is basically helps for two things. One is for planning the writing of your paper, and the other one is to think about to brainstorm around the main the main structure of your paper. And so, if you will, basically the outline is almost like zooming in on the binder. So you can use the binder for planning, and I showed you how to do that, by defining your paper structure and by using icons, right? So as you know, you can add wrap up. So you can add documents in the binder. You can move them around, and this is what you do with an outliner. Okay. So why do we need the outline mode? Well, we need the outline mode because the outline mode really allows us to put detailed ideas down in paper, and because it allows us to really plan the paper. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, first let's look at the window of the outline mode and see what we have. So we have documents and folders. Okay. And these, exactly like in the binder, they can be collapsed. They're collapsible. Okay. Now, the first big important difference with the binder is that here we have the synopsis. Okay. So if I go here and I write something introduction, this is the introduction. Okay. And I go back here to outliner mode, so I have this is the introduction. Okay. And so what I can do is I can do the synopsis of my entire document here, and this this like really helps a lot, right? So in the opening, I can do, and basically the way you move from title to synopsis is just to enter. Key hook here is the disconnect in the level of agency at both ends of the upward flow of representations. Okay. And so if I go here and I go to the theory, okay, you can see there it is. Okay. But whereas in this mode, you know, I just have the theory. In the outliner mode, I have everything. Okay. So I can basically write the entire synopsis, the synopsis of all of the subsections of my paper in one document. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that you can add a bunch of columns to the outline mode, and you can use those columns to plan your paper. So, for example, something that I do right away is I decide length. So I would say, you know, I basically want like a page and a half in the introduction. The opening of the theory, I would say maybe half a page. Here, I'll go for 3 pages. No, 2 pages, so 4,000 characters. 4,000 characters. And 4,000 characters and 4,000 characters. Okay. Now, I can add here total word count. Okay. No, actually, sorry, total target. Okay. And you see that this really helps because I see that in the theory I have 17,000 characters. So that is, you know, that's 8 pages and a half, right? So imagine that, you know, oops, sorry about that. Imagine that here, oh, come on, man. Scrivener, come on. Draft, sorry about that. Okay, imagine that here I have, you know, 14,000 characters because I thought, okay, I really need it. So this number here would tell me, okay, it's difficult to have a journal length paper and have more than 20,000 characters, so 10 pages in the theory section. So I'll probably should reduce this. And here I have all of the points that I want to make in the theory. And if I was that far enough into my paper, I'll have their synopsis. And so I could pick where I want to cut down, right? And obviously, as I write, right, I'll get the, sorry, let me just put total word count and total character count. Okay. So sorry about that. So, and I can move this here. Yeah, there we go. So here, you know, if I have a paper that if a specific section that is too long, I have all the information to decide what to do. Should I cut that section down? Should I increase the length of the theory section? So 17,000, I'm still 3,000 characters, so a page and a half below 10 pages. So if I have a character count that is, you know, imagine 6,000 here in this section, I can say, okay, I'll skip 6,000 because that my total will be at you know, 19,000, so that's less than 20,000, so that's good, right? So I can plan my paper here by setting up targets for each section. And you know, if I click, okay, no, okay, So if I click here, you see I have my target here, right? So 4,000 characters, right? And as I begin to type, as you know, I'll just copy this so that you can see. So as I begin to type, this begins to fill up, right? My target count until it reaches the the total. Okay. So as you can see, I can have I can really plan my paper, right? So I can also, if you don't like to use icons to mark progress, you can also use this status here. So to do in progress, so to do is normally when I haven't written anything. In progress, I'm writing. First draft, it's when I have the yellow paper. Revised draft is when I'm happy with the content, and final draft is when everything is done, the English, the sentence length, and so on. And obviously you can change the names for all of this, okay? So what else can you have here to help you plan your paper? You can have labels, okay? So labels, and I put them, normally I put them here. These are basically colored, and you can edit them, right? So you can say here it's difficult, this is medium, and this is easy. Okay, so what I can do is, and this is super helpful if you want to match a little bit, how motivated and how fresh you are and what you work on. So when I'm planning the paper, I can go to the introduction and say, okay, the introduction is difficult, the opening is difficult, this is orange, not orange, I mean yellow, it's medium, this is medium, this is difficult, this is difficult, and methods are easy. Oops, sorry. Methods are easy, results are easy, this is easy, this is medium, this is difficult, okay, and this is difficult. Okay, so you see, so this allows me to just like take a look at the paper and say, okay, so this morning I'm like super well rested. I slept 9 hours. I'm psyched to write on this paper, so I'm going to work on something difficult. Okay, and that let's say that I haven't started. Okay, so what I can do is I can do my status for I can do sort by status and okay, here's the to do and here's the difficult, or I can sort by label. I just click, right? I can sort by label and say, okay, so these are the difficult pieces that I have to work on, and pick one. Okay. Okay, good. So we have status, label. On label, you can do whatever, right? So for example, imagine you prefer to work on more sort of like theoretical parts of the paper and less on empirics. So you could put that. You can change the label to empirical or theoretical, whatever you want, right? So you have the characters. Obviously, if you don't like characters, you can, if you use words rather than characters, you can have word count and total word count. Some journals don't have page limits; they have word limits, so that could be helpful. You can add keywords, and keywords are free form, so you can add whatever keyword you want, and again sort by keywords. Create a date and modify date. So imagine you want to see, okay, I want to work on something that I haven't worked on for a while, so that I'm sure that that I don't leave behind any part of the paper. Something that is super useful is progress. Okay, so basically, again, I'm just going to like go here and paste this, and here and paste this. Okay, so progress is super useful. You see, I can see at a glance how far I am into each section, okay? And again, I can sort by that, and really gives me sort of like a little bit of a sense of accomplishment, but also tells me where do I need to work. Okay, so again, title, synopsis, icons, numbers. This basically just numbers, has a nice sort of like numbered outline of your section, Sorry. Numbers, section type, keywords, create a date, modify date, and then word count, character count, and so on. Target type, this is whether you have targets in words and characters. I don't think this is super useful for academic papers. And total progress, okay? So there you go. Good. So this total progress is total progress of each section, right? So here I have in the theory section, right? I have 2,000 characters of 17,000. Okay, so again, really useful planning tool. You can see your paper at a glance. You can set up targets. Let me just clean this. Total characters, characters target, total characters, total target. Okay. So I obviously can move this around. So imagine you want progress here, that's fine. If you want the label here, that's fine. If you want the status here and the label here, that's super easy. Okay. So so really useful tool to plan your paper and then to track your progress in the paper, to make decisions about what you're going to work on next, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, what doesn't this do? What this doesn't do is, if you look at an outliner, so Omni outliner, so in an outliner, so this is the outline for this paper, you can then drill down on each of these documents and and say, okay, these are the 7 points and the 17 sub points that I'm going to discuss in each of this. Now, obviously you can add sub points to these to this, right? So I can add a sub point here, right? Just like in an outline, right? And notice you see the icon that this document is under. This document, okay? So then I can say discuss agency, and I'll do it. It's just not showing in the document, right? So if I go to this document, model of agency in MSS, okay, I don't have it here, okay? I don't have it here. So you can use it as a standard outline. I would say, for me, it's just a little cumbersome to do that, but you can do it by putting it in subdocuments. But for me, it's just like the mix of the sort of the planning tool and the outline and the pure outlining is a bit confusing. So I prefer to use it as a planning tool, but you can do that. So how do I outline? Normally, I'll just outline, and I'll just open another paper and show you. So normally I'll just outline in my notes, okay? So if you go to notes, right? Oops, that's your one. 1 minute, okay. So I'll just outline here in the notes in text, okay? But that's just my preference. Again, you can definitely use this function where you are creating documents under another document to just write an outline. So you can do that. It'll be, I just find that there's a mismatch, because then this is not something that I want to label or have progress on or have word count on. So I just don't use it that way. But you can definitely use it that way, and obviously you can take all of these out, all of these columns out, and just have title and synopsis, and then you can use this for a normal outline. Okay, so that's a deep dive in the outlining feature mode on Scrivener. I hope this was useful. Again, this for me is essentially a planning tool where you are outlining at the paper level, at the section level, rather than outlining at the document level. So I'm not outlining the conclusion here. I'm not outlining the introduction here. I'm outlining the entire paper. Okay, what are the parts of the paper that I want to have, and then I'm planning each part, how difficult it is, how much progress have I done, how difficult it is, how much do I want to write on each of it. And then once I have written the paper, I can use this to make decisions. Does this have too many characters? Is it too long? Does it not have enough? Is there a balance between the theory and the discussion? Is one part of the discussion much larger than that part in the theory section? So it really helps me make decisions before I write the paper, allows me to do the structure and to decide on targets while I'm doing the paper, track my targets, decide what I'm going to work on next, and after I finish the first draft, it can help me make decisions about length and word count for each section. Okay. Hopefully that was useful. I hope you have a great day and great start of the week, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.